Hey, I'm recording, and Microsoft Teams wants me to let everyone know that they're being recorded. Let's go ahead and share my screen. So, um, yeah, man, I had the homie Kevin uh, commented on my little thing here about asking if I had messed with Windows subsystem for Linux and how he usually uses a MacBook or PC and was adjusting to Windows 10, and I get that adjustment. I just have been doing this a lot differently for a while now. I had a situation when I was, um, back in my active addiction days, right? I was working at this law firm, and I had a MacBook Pro, and it was fancy. It cost a couple $1,000s, and I used it for all my work and uh, that I was showing some girl a YouTube video when we were all drinking at my house having a party, and I dropped that and my beer on top of it and smashed the screen and fried the what they call it, the logic board on Macs. And I was at a point in my life where no matter how big my paychecks were, I was broke every 2 weeks because I was living in action, right? So the boss is a way to kind of try to uh, punish me for my uh, frivolity, I guess. He gave me the crappiest laptop that had come back in from one of the offices on a refresh, and it was so slow. It was a Celeron machine with Windows XP, like single threaded 32-bit. Like I couldn't even do my job. It was just terrible. So I was really frustrated, and I think that he just wanted me to like come and apologize or something like that to be like, oh, I learned my lesson or whatever. But instead, it was 2008 server, 2008 R2 that we had just put into place, and I was like, geez, man. Why don't I just use this as a dumb terminal essentially to remote into that server, right? And that was the moment that my life changed, man. I saw that server 2008, which was the precursor for you know uh, Windows 7. uh, it really it was a completely different Windows, man. And on a nice beefy Xeon server, it was a very pleasant experience, and it actually was probably more pleasant than what I was accustomed to on my laptop when I was using it as a dumb terminal. I think that's why we're probably going that way as an industry for a lot of things, because compute's just getting to be another resource you could just, pay for in the sense of usage. It's just a commodity now. So, and that's why Instagram was able to scale to 60 million concurrent users and not have to go out and buy a data center. But I digress. So getting into the content here, right? I just wanted to explain how I'd found some content about how Windows subsystem for Linux works. This chick Jessie is a Microsoft engineer, and it has a pretty good description of um, how WSL works. Uh, and this whole Windows subsystem for Linux deal is it's actually goes into how it's supposed to support running other subsystems and the actual user kernel mode interactions, how it all works, smaller pico processes, system calls work, and it's kind of
this chick is much more nerdy about any of this stuff than I'm ever going to be. I can't understand what she's even doing here. So, there's a whole bunch of fun little stuff where she talks about, running Windows executables in that namespace and vice versa. Spawn Windows binaries from WSL. And for launching X applications, you have to install a X Windows server. Then copy paste, scroll files. Files are slow. This is the biggest deal with WSL. And like right here, you can't quite have a Git repo cloned and also edit from Windows, blah, blah, right? So there's a better way to do this than using WSL, and that is using enhanced mode Ubuntu. I have forced dark mode, and this guy, Scott, his little website does not really cooperate with that, at least till you get down on here. And this link is in the blog post. But and what was this? October 10, 18. So this was not super long ago, about a year ago. And to be frank, Ubuntu is sucked on Hyper-V, but you can use Hyper-V Quick Create. Wow, create virtual machine. It's pretty dope, right? Windows 10 dev environment or 1804. So if I was to, Hyper-V Quick Create, see it's right there. Boom. I want to make all the changes, dude. Every last one of them. And so it's gonna take it a second to populate our options here. And so we could do 1904 or 1804.3 LTS. So that's just how we spawn that sucker there. And it's really quick. Like honestly, it's just however long it takes for your internet to download the ISO. And then you can get into it, right? So he shows here how you want to make sure that you don't have login automatically, because that will break this implementation, this enhanced session implementation, which is actually pretty darn cool. You'll see here in a second. And you can have all your drives, everything. It actually spawns Xorg, and instead of the typical Hyper-V little like whatever freaking thing, and you can dynamically resize and stuff like that inside the RDP session. So let's show you what it actually looks like. This is one that I kind of riced out a little bit. Oh, we don't want to automatically suspend. Auto suspend and screensaver disabled. Dope, right? So I kind of riced this out a little bit with the folks on Reddit, our Unix porn. I had not really done Linux on the desktop in freaking forever, right? So I have just this little super simple doc here. I'm anything that's more involved than this, I'm going to want to be able to do just on the actual Windows part here. So I can spawn Chrome. We can search for whatever, and have I'm all signed in, set up with it. This is just a screen fetch showing, hey, this is what we got going on. I have the Nocto theme and the Papyrus icon theme. Can't remember what I did for the doc. It was probably back like last November that I set this up. But I kind of banged it out to a known good state. I spent far more time than I should have, just kind of, go to bed, kid. It's 11:30 at night. Love you. Go sleep. So yeah, man. And just for a little bit of context here, you can see it's kind of snappy. It's saying, oh, our percentage wise of memory utilization, saying, we got 23, 3, 4%, whatever. Inside of the actual Hyper-V, I have it set up to, what is it, 10 gigs of RAM? It's not really a huge amount on my workstation. I think that I have 32 gigs RAM on this particular laptop. And you see here that I have a checkpoint for when this is at a known good state. This is very important because in my process of ricing this out several times, I did things that actually broke the whole XRDP thing into the window manager. So just with your own caution there, just kind of make sure that you have a checkpoint. You don't really want to have multiple checkpoints because that slows down your operation of Hyper-V. I'm trying to get something going on with like Veeam or something where I have a little more elegant backup type solution. I use Altero in production or Hyper-V cluster at work, but it doesn't really work very well on a workstation. So yeah, that's now once we get back inside here, we can see that we have our full little environment here. I can go to like GitHub. Dope. It's clone a repo, right? I don't think I'm signed in here, so I could here are my repos. Docker tools, Terraform, AWS Foundation. I don't think I have. No, that's not it. My Netbox AWS. Let's just do that one, right? So, so that's the first cool little thing there, right? So we'll do Netbox, AWS. So you see this cool little thing. This is oh my bash is what does this? It actually shows you your Git repos on the command line. It's pretty sick, and that integrates into this little tmux thing as well. Power line for tmux. I really dig it. But you saw how I just had that on the clipboard, right? Go here and bam! Shared clipboard. This is why the enhanced session is super dope. Plus, the quick re-scrolling, everything like that. We can't have a sponsor. Check out the latest JIP right? We'll copy that, and then we'll back up over to here. We can shared drives. That's what I'm looking for right there, right? C and users, Philip, and desktop. Whoa! And we can vi this file.txt. Shift as I'll check out the latest. If I bounce out of here, different one. Oh, so we have this file .txt. Open it with Notepad. So the shared clipboard, just being able to access the file system like that directly from the virtual machine, it bypasses all of the nonsense of slow file operations inside of the Windows subsystem for Linux. So really, like enhanced sessions are super dope. It's the way to go for this kind of thing. And Kevin, I hope you try that out and do it. You just have to enable the Hyper-V role. If as long as you're Windows 10 Pro, you know you should be, or Enterprise or Pro for workstation, whatever, should be able to enable the Hyper-V role, and that also is necessary if you want to run Docker Desktop as well. And just put a shortcut to the Hyper-V Manager once the role's installed on there, and you can make changes to it, create snapshots, checkpoints. Again, I just suggest doing the whole checkpoint thing once you get it to a known good state. You see, this one was back in November, and I knew that I had it pretty close to how I wanted it, and so there's also the virtual switch manager. When you do that whole thing, it propagates this default switch deal right here. However, I have seen this default switch go away in between like Windows 10 feature updates or whatever. When I first was trying to get everything going for this little video, I noticed that that was gone, and my virtual machine wasn't starting up, and I was really kind of having an emotional moment with my emotions, but it seems to be working now. So yeah, man, I hope this was useful for you. And again, like we could just pop in here and show apps install. And it's just the same environment that you would expect. Desktop snappy, responsive. We're doing pretty well for virtual machine. Oh crap! There was one other thing. Audio does not work, right? So what I do is on Spotify, I just have it play. Bluetooth headset went off. So you see, I have it, listening on.
Yeah, I'm not just like I was saying on that freaking on Facebook, man. That comment, like I'm not trying to sell nothing to nobody. Oh, that's oh, there I go. Like yeah, my little stupid videos are not perfect, but I have a little bit of content here, So I was playing. I think that my audio is not being routed. Oh, there we go. Encore. Crap. I just noticed in Windows a lot of times you have to restart something when a sound thing changes. UI connected, voice, music. What's that? Sweet. Now I got some music in my ears. I don't want to cause YouTube copyright nonsense, but I also don't know if I really want to assail your ears with my email bullshit. But yeah, man. So that's how I do this. Is I just use Spotify inside of here. It doesn't really redraw very well, but so kill that. Or start going on that nonsense either. But we're yeah. So we're getting there. We're making it work. So I can at least use Spotify virtual machine, and I can listen to music, and that's good enough for me. If I need to actually do something with real media, I can, do it inside of the actual like host operating system, not the guest operating system. So yeah, man, I don't know how long my stupid little thing is. Oh, about a half hour, 20 minutes. Sweet. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Um, and just wanted to, thank you for tuning in to another episode of my nonsense. And I hope that this little hands-on preview was beneficial to you or somebody someday. Peace.